I guess ask questions based on what we've released, and we'll go from there.
How many employees were in Domino's at the time?
Two employees.
Did the robber take anything other than money?
Nope, just money from the till.
Any idea how much was in there?
We know how much was in there, but we're not going to release the amount right now.
Did the robber leave on foot or by vehicle?
He left the building on foot, and they saw him head south. From there, we don't know if he got into a vehicle or left on foot.
Do you have reason to believe anybody else was involved?
We don't have any evidence leading us to... We don't have any evidence telling us that somebody else was involved.
Any reason to believe why this business was targeted?
No, except that it was open and on a quiet Sunday night. Not a whole lot of people around.
You mentioned that there was a shot fired. Was it fired in the air, in the ground? You said near an employee, but what?
Yeah, near the employee, past the employee into the ground behind him.
Is anything in the restaurant damaged?
No, nothing was damaged from the gunshot.
Now the dispatch logs say that the gentleman was wearing a clown mask. Is that right?
Correct.
Excuse me. How did the employee describe the person?
Described him as a male. He was wearing dark jacket, dark pants, with a mask and a hood. The mask was a clown mask, just kind of your standard clown. Came in, demanded the money from the till, and the employee that was working complied, opened up the till, gave him the money that was in there, and the suspect then left.
How old is the employee?
20s, mid to late 20s.
Is this the first armed robbery in Bozeman in 2014?
Yes.
When was the last one?
I don't know offhand when the last armed robbery that we had was.
Been a while.
Yeah. Several months. It's not something, luckily, we have on a regular basis.
Do these kind of like pizza or whatever, do they seem like kind of easy targets for...
I think they're probably easier than a gas station convenience store. Fewer people around, typically. I think if you go into a gas station, you have more likely of a chance a vehicle's going to pull in, or more people are going to show up to buy something.
And does the business have surveillance on both doors?
They have surveillance inside the business. I don't know exactly if it's on every single door or not.
So, go ahead.
Will you be releasing any surveillance photos today?
Eventually we will, not today.
In the coming days.
Yeah.
How can people help?
Well, a lot of times these crimes are solved because somebody knows something. So if they can contact the police department, they can contact Crime Stoppers. The phone number for Crime Stoppers is 586-1131, or they can call 582-2010. That's the police department if they have any information.
No suspects at this point, though?
We have no suspects at this point. We're currently reviewing a lot of surveillance footage from around town, leading up to and after the incident occurred. So we're hoping something comes from those.
And you guys responded to this call pretty quickly last night?
Yeah, officers were on scene within about 30 seconds of the suspect leaving Domino's.
Aside from Bozeman PD, did any other agencies assist in the response?
I don't know them. I don't know. I know we had about 7 officers respond fairly quickly.
Were any nearby businesses open at the time? Do you think this was a target just because they were the only...
Well, Papa John's was open down the street. The gas station in 7th and Main, I'm assuming, was open. The Grand Street Condo would have been open. Walmart would have been open. So, several businesses.
So what did y'all do when you got there?
Well, I don't want to go into a lot of detail on what we did, but we obviously searched the area for a suspect. And unfortunately, we're unable to locate anybody.
Were there tracks or anything in the snow?
We did collect some evidence inside and outside the business, but I don't want to go into too much detail on what we collected.
At this point, are there any leads?
At this point, we have no leads, so any help that we can get from the public would be really appreciated.
How long did you guys investigate the scene before not having any luck? How long were you there?
We were on scene there for about 3.5 hours, 4 hours last night.
And you all got the call at what time?
Came in right around 11:08.
Okay.
Can I just have you reiterate exactly what was reported to you guys as to what happened?
You mean how it came from dispatch? Well, I wasn't working when the call came out. I really can't answer what dispatch said. I imagine they said we have an armed robbery in progress at Domino's on North 7th. And
I think she's just asking for a little bit of a.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
I'm
kind of what
sorry.
the press release said.
Okay.
Can you just reiterate that in sound?
Yeah. So last night at approximately 11:08, the Domino's on North 7th was robbed. A male described as 5'8" to 6 foot, wearing dark clothing and a mask with a hood on, walked into the business with a firearm, demanded the money from the till. While the suspect was in the store, he did fire his weapon into the ground near the employee that was working. The employee gave the money from the till to the suspect, and he then fled. He left the business, and the police arrived shortly thereafter.
Because this kind of thing doesn't happen very often in Bozeman, do you guys have, I mean, what kind of approach are you using to solve this as quickly as possible?
Well, we're canvassing the area. We're talking to all the businesses. We're trying to get any surveillance footage from around town in case somebody went to the gas station before or after. Maybe they were at a bar beforehand. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot to go on at this point. So we're really hoping somebody out there knows something and can give us a call.
And again, how many
Information.
officers responded last night?
7 officers responded from the Bozeman Police Department, and I'm unsure if any came from any other agencies.